Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Semi-original guy here, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web. How are you all today? I'm doing fine myself. Hope you all are having a fantastic day. So today, we got a new one. Obviously got a new one. Super cool, super fun. We have an Eagle versus Olaf battle. Grizzled old war vets fighting on Stalingrad, one of the most popular maps in Advanced Wars by Web. This is a triple base airport, very open map, and the ability to front shift on this map is amazing. Just simply amazing. Crazy stuff, man, crazy stuff. So, since this is going to be a long one, I'm not really going to go over the player profiles today, unfortunately, but my opponent here today is Saroshi. Very good player. I think he's rated somewhere around the 1000s at the moment. Myself, Mr. Cannon, rated somewhere in the thousands too, like 1060 something around there. So I took a little bit of a dive recently. I actually got all the way up to like 1118 at one point, which was pretty cool. Pretty cool. I've never been in the 1100s before, so brand new milestone for me. I know, congratulations is in order, thank you very much, I did my best. But unfortunately, I fell back down. So, that's just the nature of the game, right? Unfortunately. But, today, like I said, Eagle versus Olaf. Two of the most stally COs on a very big stally map. So we're going to see how this one goes. So Eagle, he gets plus 15%, plus 10% for all his air units, which is very good for the air superiority, right? Lightning Drive just gives a boost to air units offense, not really too significant there. However, his Lightning Strike is why people really play Eagle. Now, Lightning Strike allows your vehicles to move a second time, right? Crazy stuff. It's amazing. The amount of damage that you can do with a Lightning Strike is uncanny. It's powerful stuff. Now, for me, I picked Olaf for this one. Now, Olaf, he's unaffected by snow, obviously, and his Winter Fury attack will do global damage plus snow. So it's pretty good, Plus Blizzard. It's kind of a slept-on power, in my opinion. So Blizzard can be very effective sometimes, especially when you're trying to stall out people or like stop a push. Be very effective. Remember recently I actually played a battle in the live league of Advanced Wars by Web, which is a player-run Discord league. I'm going to leave a link in the description below where you can join the Discord. And actually, my opponent picked Olaf in that one and managed to beat me with just a Blizzard because he planned it out very well. Fantastic stuff. So, Blizzard can be great. As we all know, when you pop a power, you get a defense bonus, right? So, let's go ahead and get into this one here. So, standard infantry builds. Gotta get those infantry on the field, folks. Gotta get them on the field. So I'm just gonna quickly go over the first couple turns. You know what? I'm just gonna do this function here where we just skip ahead. Alright. We'll start on day 7, folks. So, the only difference that we have right now is Saroshi, my opponent. He's captured his airport, which is great. Usually what you can do is you can capture the base in the middle and then immediately capture the airport right after, which is the superior play. It's really what you want to do because then, you get your base, you get your airport, boom, and get units on the field. Unit count is important, especially when you're playing as Eagle. You want to have lots of units so that your Lightning Strike does maximum damage. I myself have also gotten the airport down here. I ended up building a battlecopter on day 7, as well as a tank a few days ago. My opponent built a tank and a artillery unit. So, that's pretty cool. So, early artillery. It's kind of debatable, Sometimes it can be good, sometimes it can be bad. Depends on what you want to do with it, right? But artillery are fantastic zoning tools. And one thing that you can do with this artillery, for sure, especially in the early games, you can plop it over here in this forest and cover your comm tower once you capture it. So that can be incredibly effective. And if I decide to do any early aggression, you know, the artillery can cover any infantry that I decide to attack. So very good stuff, very good stuff. This function is really slow. Alright, so, moving on. Now, usually what I do down here, too, is I usually do a little skip with the properties here so I can get one of my infantry out a little bit quicker to the front line so I can start capping these properties over here. Because once you actually get to, like, you know, around day 9, 10, 11, 12, the middle line, straight down the middle, becomes very contested on both sides. So it is pretty dangerous stuff to be dealing with. But we're gonna see what happens. So day 8 rolls around. Shiroshi has built a recon and a transport copter. Transport copters are incredibly cool builds on this map. So we all know the infantry are slow, right? Super slow. They can't go too far, can't go too fast. You know, they're limited by their little legs. Sometimes they got little penguin legs and they can't really run too fast. But you know, they try their best. Alright, so Shiroshi did a really good move with his transport copter. For those of you that don't know, you can actually load a transport copter and unload on the same day as many times as you want. As many times as you want. It's really good. The content creator Degis, he actually did a video, one of his first videos, right? I know, crazy stuff. He's so big now, right? He did a video called Terrorizing with Transports, where he shows the effectiveness of loading and unloading transport copters on maps. So it can be incredibly effective. Shiroshi has decided to put his artillery unit down in the opposite forest of what I was talking about, which is still very good. Probably the more superior position, actually, because now it can cover this base as well, right? And let's see, I think he's a little bit farther ahead than I am. Oh wait, no, I'm second player, right? So he would be farther ahead. Another content creator, Ago7, currently the #1 player in Advanced Wars by Web. Fantastic player. Played him once. Didn't go that well. So that was fun. I don't remember what I was going to say. Anyways, not important. Okay. Oh, yeah. So, content creator Go7. He had a video explaining how first and second players are supposed to be about a half step ahead of each other. Half step ahead. So, very good stuff. And that's with the first turn advantage. That's why player 2 gets an infantry, so he can stay half step ahead. Because then when player 1 goes, they're half step ahead. So very good information. I never actually really made the analogy before between them, right? So, good stuff. Okay, so capping the comm towers, capping a property, moving a bunch of my infantry up, moving my battlecopter up north. So why am I moving the battlecopter up north, you might ask? Well, because this side up here is not very defended. Plus, I'm thinking to myself, right, that if he goes for this property up here, I might be able to just get an early interrupt on that property and kind of screw him over a little bit. Is it gonna work? Oh, we'll find out. We'll find out, right? Also, folks, I'm just gonna tell you now, this is gonna be a long one. So, if you haven't grabbed yourself a drink, pause the video, go get a drink, sit down, relax, have a good one. It's gonna be long. Okay? Thank you. Alrighty. So we see that transfer copter coming in doing work, dropping off an infantry on the corner property, which is super good. And now he's got a battlecopter moving into position too, which is super good. So he's gone double anti-air. So he's expecting me to have lots of air units. Right? I mean, you would expect it on this map. Unit count is important, so people tend to build a lot of air units sometimes. Is it always necessary? Not really. But, always good to have. Alright, so we see I went up and took a shot with that battlecopter, interrupting that capture. And I interrupted a second capture down in the south. Well, he didn't actually start capturing, but I hit it, so. Now, the only issue with this is I don't know what he's got, right? So, this is a very risky play with the tank hitting the infantry on the city. Because my tank is on a shoal. Shoal has no defense, right? It's not really where you want to be with your tank. But for me, I felt like I had to stop that. Because if I didn't stop it, well, then he would have got the property. And it would have just been like so far ahead, right? Would have been crazy. Oh, and he interrupts my cap in the north with a big hit, which is very unfortunate. And then he comes down and smacks my tank like I was talking about. So that's why you don't want to be reckless with your tanks, folks. It is not a good thing to do. Would not suggest it. Don't play like me. Okay, learn from my mistakes so that you don't make them yourself. That's what the channel's all about, right? You know, I'm not really super keen on strategy necessarily. You know, I'm sort of an average player, but you know what? If you watch my games and you learn what not to do, well, you know, that's my goal, right? And also, hopefully you have fun watching. That's also important. All right, so how do I come back from this mess? Because I totally blundered this. It's not good. Not good at all. So I go up and start capturing the property. So this is good. So I start capturing this property, but he has no vision on me because he sent his vision machine down here. Right? So we can see. He can see far, but he can't see up there. He does have these two infantry up here. So what he could do is move this infantry like 1 square forward, spot it, come in with the tank, or come in with the infantry. But he knows I have a battlecopter. So he's got to be very cognizant of that, you know? He's got to keep that in mind. So, I send a few of my units around, wall off the little recon so he can't run too far. Try to do a bold capture here. Because I know he's got infantry. Lots of infantry. So, what do I do? I reinforce my infantry with a few ones just sitting around. I still have a tank in position. Tank is very close. So if he does decide to do anything over here, I will be able to come up and counterattack it pretty severely. However, I would lose a couple infantry along the way, which is unfortunate. But one of them is hidden in a forest, so you can't see it. Right? So he's only really got sights on these two infantry. Now, because he pushed this recon so forward, he has really good vision up here. He's able to see, like, everything that's going on. And then he destroys my vision machine, which is super unfortunate. Super unfortunate, because now I lost vision. It's not what you want to happen. Not what you want to happen at all. It's terrible. And this is super cool. So, he built a Neo tank. Right? A Neo tank. Insanity. Okay. So, Neo tanks, incredibly effective. Anytime that you have a chance to build a Neo tank, and it's not gonna, like, you know, hinder you very much, I say go for it. Your opponent will never expect a Neo tank, especially this early in the game. Maybe on Stalingrad, because you get a lot of funds, because we can see that right now, he's stopped my push in the front, or up north. So that sucks. For me, good for him. Because that puts him ahead by like 5,000 funds. 5,000 funds, right? It's like semi. How do you even like, why do you even bother playing when you're behind by 5,000 funds like this early in the game? Like, isn't it over? No, of course it's not over. Funds matter, of course. But you know what else matters? Determination. Determination matters. Because if you can keep fighting and keep forcing your opponent to do stuff, well, you know what can happen? You can turn it all around. And especially with Eagle, especially with Olaf, because Olaf's superco power is the great equalizer. That's what I call global damage, it's the great equalizer. Whether you're Hawk, whether you're Drake, or Eagle, or even in some cases, you know, even Kindle, or even, you know, his little sister, Rachel, right? They all have very powerful damaging co-powers. which if used correctly can cause massive damage. But speaking of massive damage, I have lost a anti-air unit and battlecopter, which is very bad for me. Very bad. Because now, my push in the north, oh boy, I got like nothing there. Oh god, Lord, oh, help me right now. So he strikes down the anti-air with his anti-air in a tank, taking it down to 4 HP. However, that unit will repair up to 6 HP next turn, which is good. Okay, so he ends his turn here. Now, I think he actually did fire with this, which is fine. But what you could have possibly done is, if you're in this sort of situation, what you could have done is actually brought your artillery unit to sit on the city, and then it would block off your copter. However, I could move this and still strike the copter, so maybe not necessarily a super good idea. But if you're in a similar situation like that, it is actually possible to bring your indirects to the front line to be blockers, as well as more of an offensive tool. I know, it sounds crazy. Why would you do that? Well, you know why? Because people are more likely to hit indirect units than they are direct combat. It's just statistically statistically proven. You know? Pretty sure like Yale did a study on it, right? You see a juicy artillery and you're just like, I'll take that. But little do they know, you have a bunch of like, you know, direct combat units like right there, just ready to take advantage. Alright, so I do a little bit of cleaning up here. Move a few of my units in, activate my Winter Fury early. This is important. Important. If you get your global damage COs, you need to pop your global damage first, before somebody like Eagle pops their lightning strike. Why? Because it's important. I don't really need to explain it. You just should do it. It's the way it goes. But no, if you're really wondering, it's because it will lower the amount of damage that you take from their lightning strike or offensive hits in general. It's really good to do that stuff against, like, you know, well, Eagle in general. Other COs, you don't necessarily really have a chance to do it too much because Winter Fury does take a little bit to charge. And if you're playing against somebody like Max, you won't have a chance to use your Winter Fury right away. You'll probably have to take a Max Force to the face. Right to the face. But if you survive the Max Force, well, then you can pop your Winter Fury. Win the game. Easy peasy, press one button, that's all it takes. Nah, it takes a little bit more than that. Gotta plan out a few things, that's for sure. One thing that I did not plan out was my capture game. So, I'm sitting at 25 buildings now, which is better than 22 that I was at, right? But he's sitting at 27. So, he's got the clear advantage right now. Now, this should be even. Should be. Because I should have these two properties, but I didn't get them because he went pretty aggressive up there, right? Usually for me, I try to be aggressive on like one side, like your strong front, right? But yeah, he went super aggressive up there, so that was woo, dangerous stuff. Okay, so we're sitting at day 14 now, right? Day 14. Woo! Good stuff. Okay, I'm gonna quickly go over here and just talk about a few things, because not really much actually happens. So, what happens here is, I know that he's got lightning strike, but I have no idea where he is. No idea where he is. Now, I was watching the KD a little bit, and like I saw that it was pretty even, right? But on a map like Stalingrad, you can't really trust the KD too much. But why, you might ask, is because there's an airport. Alright, there's an airport. So, potentially, your opponent could be pumping out 4 units every single day, and you could only be pumping out 3 units every day, and your KD is even. However, your opponent would have that extra base build with the airport every single day, and therefore overwhelm you with numbers still. So sometimes you can't trust it. You can't trust it, folks. You just don't know. And especially with lightning strike, if Eagle has a bunch of vehicles, you're gonna have a bad time, folks. You're gonna have a bad time against Eagle. Holy moly. Now, back when I was a young lad growing up in the frigid winters of Canada, I used to play Advance Wars all the time on the Game Boy Advance. And who was my favorite CEO to pick? It was Eagle. Played Eagle all the time. He was my favorite guy. Something about that, you know, cocky flyboy mentality just sort of it jives with me, you know. And yeah, I used to do like cool stuff with Lightning Strike back in the day. Now, when it comes to Advanced Wars by Web, I don't really pick Eagle too much, mostly because Olaf is available in the exact same tier. I usually like picking Olaf over Eagle because he's a little bit more towards my playstyle, right? Easy mode. That's what I like. Gotta stick to easy mode, folks. Alright, so take out a capping infantry, moving a couple of my units around, moving them forward. I still have the looming threat of danger when it comes to Lightning Strike, though. So, I am bringing my units back. So, when your opponent has Lightning Strike, you do not want to push. Don't. Unless you know for certain that you are going to do enough damage that that Lightning Strike is not going to hurt you as much. You do not want to push. You want to pull back, regroup, let him use his Lightning Strike, come to you, then counter. Because if you just push up into a Lightning Strike, it's going to be a bad time. Know what else is a bad time? That Neo tank coming up and instantly one-shotting my tank. What is that? Ah! It's terrible stuff. Terrible. So much damage, folks. So much damage. So, with that move, pardon me, Eagle has leveled the playing field. He's now ahead in units. And pops Lightning Strike. Boom. There we go. Now, before I continue on with this attack, there's one thing to note. Because Lightning Strike allows your vehicles to move an extra time that turn, which means you can build your vehicles on your bases and then move them. So, whenever I do play Eagle, one thing I really do like to do is I build my vehicles, right? But I always try to build where I leave 3,000 funds left over, or however many bases I have. Now, why, you might ask? Well, it's simple. Because you can build your vehicles, send them off, and then triple infantry that turn, or double infantry that turn, or quadruple infantry that turn, or however many bases you have. Then you can pop that out. And you know why that's important? Unit count. Unit count. It's important. That's the other thing why you can't really trust KD, especially against Eagle, right? After he's used his Lightning Strike, you know that he potentially has just that many more infantry on the field. So you have to be very careful with that. Now, for this instance, Shiroshi here, the Eagle player, he could have went double recon and a tank and a battlecopter and then built 3 infantry afterwards. So that's probably what I would have done in that sense. Yeah. Maybe. So, using his tank for vision, I probably wouldn't have used the tank for vision. I would have used this recon and maybe moved it on to, I don't know, probably this probably. I would have moved it right there, because then he would have had a lot of vision over here. Either way, not really too important. Recon is moving up. That Neo tank is just doing work down in my front line. It's like, oh my god. What did I do to deserve this? So, after that turn, day 16, I am behind by, oof, a lot. 50k. 50k and like 6 units. But do I let that stop me? No, obviously I don't let it stop me because I'm Mr. Cannon, aka semi-original guy. I just keep on trucking. Just keep on trucking every single day. That's what you gotta do. Do you give up when things are looking bad for you? No. You just fight until the very end and force your opponent to resign out of pure annoyance. That's what you do. You know what else you do? You do enough battle damage to yourself where you pop another Winter Fury. Second Winter Fury of the game, folks. So that means that so far on day 16, I have sapped 40% of his army. And now look, now I'm ahead. Bomb, 30k. Now, obviously, the North is not looking too good. He's got a lot of units up there. However, I took out his units that are able to take out my air units. So now my battlecopters have free roam up there. And bomb! Bomber build down in the south. Let's see what that does. Holy macaroni. Now, another thing to note from this match is I queued up this Global League match a couple days ago. And my opponent and I, we actually played out the entire match in one day. Took all day. All day, folks. Holy macaroni. Now, we didn't play it like live, but semi-live, you know? Take our turns casually and then just pass it off. So, 24 to 31. And the unit value is even. I'm only ahead by 300. So, dangerous times. And that is the power of Winter Fury, folks. You could be losing complete garbage at the game, just doing trash builds and trash plays all day, and you just pop your Winter Fury, and then you're having a great time. Having a great time. Now, I'm gonna admit that in general, my opponent is playing much better than I am. Like, he is thinking out his builds a little bit more, you know, he's being safe, doing lots of good stuff. So I did move my bomber, folks. Don't worry. It happened. I busted open this pipe seam. Why did I bust open the pipe seam? I don't know. It was there. So, whatever. Why not? Just bust it open. The only unfortunate thing with that is now, if Shiroshi is paying attention, he now knows that I have a unit that just one-shot the pipe seam. Now, there's only one unit that can one-shot the pipe seam. It's bomber. So obviously now he knows I have a bomber. Now, he built a fighter last turn, though. Odd. He doesn't know that I have bomber, but he built it anyways. Now, my guess is he wanted to quickly get the fighter up there to contend with my battlecopters. Which is smart, you know? It's not stupid, it's smart. It's good stuff. It's what you want to do. Okay, day 18. So, a thing to note is when you're fighting Eagle, you want to make sure that if you are going to push to do damage against Eagle, you want to push when he has no co-power. Nothing. Not even close. Why? Well, because if you push into Lightning Strike, you're going to have a bad time, like I said before. Good play with the APC up there, too. He knows that a lot of his units are running out of fuel, especially his air units. If you're going to be playing with a lot of air units, you have to build an APC. You have to do it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, day 19. Oh boy. Here we go. So, moving my units ahead. Good stuff all around. Nothing really to note from this turn. You know, just kind of pushing up a little bit. Attempting to reclaim one of the cities. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get it. I'm hoping I'm going to get it. I'm hoping that I did enough damage to him that he just, like, goes away. But obviously, Eagle, grizzled old war vet, just keeps on trucking. And this is unfortunate because now he plopped a recon down there and he sees my bomber. He sees it. So disappointing. And he's got an anti-air in the north, or in the south, mid. So that's not good. Okay. So he has 38 units, I have 29 units. Things are not looking very good. Not looking very good indeed. But, boom, 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 coming in, Mr. Cannon style, just blasting away, doing every single hit that I can to level that playing field. And what do? I take out like 9 units. Just take them out like they're nothing. It's like melting butter. Gone. It's beautiful. But then, unfortunately, he comes in, does a massive counterattack, spots my medium tank, kills my medium tank. This is not the medium tank show, folks. They are not sticking around very long. And then even in the north, he does like a huge attack, which is, oh, so bad. Now, once again, you might think to yourself, Semi, you're playing like crap. What are you doing? Just resign. No, I don't want to resign. I only resign when I absolutely know that there's no hope in hell that I'm gonna win. Because I got Winter Fury. I don't got anything to worry about. I just sacrifice all my units, pop Winter Fury every single time I get behind. Now the good thing now is if he decides to pop his lightning strike, he's gonna have to deal with doing it in the snow. And I know that I am very, very behind in units. Well, not right now, but I was, or am, or will be. So what do? Do you keep building small units? No. What you gotta do at that point, in my opinion, might not be everybody's opinion, but my opinion, you gotta just tech up hard. Tech up hard. You gotta start pumping out like a Neo tank every single day. Which is what I'm doing. Pumping out a Neo tank every single day. I'm just gonna surprise him by having like an abundance of Neo tanks on the field all of a sudden. He's gonna be like, oh my god, what is all this here? Ah! He's not gonna know what to do. Neo tanks everywhere. Causing havoc everywhere you go. Now, does he pop a lightning strike this turn? Nope. So, Shiroshi being smart. Holding his lightning strike for when he can do maximum damage with it. Now, however, what that means for me is since I pop my superpower, now whenever he does a counterattack to me, or an offensive attack, I should say, whatever, you know, I'm going to take that battle damage. I'm going to get my Winter Fury back that much quicker. So one thing that people might not know, I'm sure lots of people do know, but if you don't know, this is a very valuable tip. It's just listening to this. When you are playing Advanced Wars, if you use your Super power and do a push, and then take a massive counterattack, you know what happens? You don't get any power charge. No power charge happens. Why is that bad? Well, if you lose your entire army in a push when you're using your Super power, you will not have the units needed to get a second power. So, keep that in mind. Alright, so I know that he's got a lot of stuff, right? So I'm trying to bring my units back. And protect them. I even bring my bomber back. But we're fighting Eagle, folks. Eagle is unpredictable. See, we can just see him just going up, just doing damage. He discovered one of my Neo tanks with his fighter. Terrifying. Does the lightning strike, and he's got the unit advantage. And he spots my stupid bomber. How did he do that? But you know how he did it is because he moved his recon up to attack my artillery unit. So that's how we spotted the bomber. And we have a legendary APC coming up to scout. Legend. What does he see, though? He doesn't see anything. So, he's just standing there, just having a good time. Now, I think I understand what he's doing with this APC, though. It's not actually necessarily a scout. What he's doing is he's putting it there because he thinks that maybe I'm going to, like, go up this way, and he's hoping to trap me. That's my guess, is he's hoping to get a trap from it. So, Mr. Cannon, let's see what I do to counter that super. The legendary APC of legend. And I attack it. Boom. Because I hate it. I want it to go away. And I didn't have anything better to attack with my Neo tank, so I just took that shot. Which is probably not bad. So I think I know what this APC might have actually been trying to do afterwards, is he might have actually tried to bring the APC right here. And just sit there. And that would have been like super bad. Super, super bad. Alright, so what else do we got going on here? Yeah, I'm still like super behind. Behind by like 3 units now. Oh god. But he's taken so much damage from the Winter Furies that he can't actually push. Man. I am gonna flip a property finally because he's at 30k funds. Oh my lord. Now, if you're at 30k funds, you know your opponent is down. A lot. So it's like, oh my lord. You know that you have such an advantage that you should just be able to get up there and do lots and lots of damage. But with the looming threat of Winter Fury coming in, what can he do? That's like the fourth, maybe the fourth Winter Fury of the match. Oh boy. And he's still going. So now I popped that one out of like desperation because I was severely outnumbered at that point. My unit count went to nothing. Now if it's like day 25 and your unit count is like sitting at what mine was at 19, things are not looking good for you, man. Not looking good for you at all. So, what are you gonna do? Well, you either resign and cry yourself to sleep at night while eating a jug of ice cream in your PJs, or you keep fighting. Grizzled old war vets, people. That's what we do. That is what we do. Because he's got to fight in the snow, you know? He's got the Russian winters. So it goes triple tank this turn, which is cool. So I built 5 anti-air units. Now, why am I building so many anti-air units? Well, because I know that I've got a lot of neo-tanks. Right, so my thought is that if Eagle is going to do anything to counter neo-tanks, he's probably not going to build neo-tanks of his own. What he's going to build is bombers and battlecopters. So, I'm expecting lots of bombers and lots of battlecopters to be popping into the fray. That's why I want a lot of anti-air. Because no matter where the bombers and battlecopters go, there's going to be like 2 or 3 anti-air right there to deal with them. All the time. They are not going to stop. They're going to be relentless. They are just going to be hunting down everything. Yeah. And that's it. And especially against injured tanks, like a 7 or an 8 HP tank, you can fairly safely take a shot at that with an anti-air unit. And do damage to it. It's possible. You can do it. Would I suggest it? I don't know. I probably would. Because I'm crazy. I just do wild things all the time and just hope that they work. Sometimes they do work, and then sometimes I lose on day 12. That's just the way she goes, folks. That's the way she goes. Alright. So we're still in the game, even though we are down by a lot. As you can see, the values are the exact same. Unit count, obviously, he's got an advantage on that, but the values are the same. Now, do I know that? No, I'm expecting to be like super behind right now. But I just keep on trucking. And I build a super late transport copter. Super late in the game. But I do that because I need to get my infantry up to the front now. Because I am super afraid that he is just going to start capping all my properties. I'm like, oh my god, I need to get some infantry up there. I need to start flipping these properties. If I don't flip the properties now, I am going to lose, because steadily over time, I'm just going to be losing more and more and more and more income. And he's just going to be gaining more income. Now, I think probably the only reason that I'm still in the game is obviously Winter Fury. But he's also going to, he's repairing like all of his units that get injured. So he's sapping his funds that way every single turn. Because what you do is when you heal your units, you lose 20% of what that unit costs. So over time, that can be pretty bad. Alright, so build a fighter. Bomb, right there, in the fray. Now, do I know what he's got? No, have no idea. But I build a fighter because I'm expecting danger. What do you do when you're expecting danger? You prepare for it. Now, Shiroshi here, he's got a really good death ball going over here in the south. That's going to be very difficult to attack into, and he is playing very safe, trying to flip one of my properties again. Now, this is always a good thing to do. Sometimes. It depends, right? Now, I do this a lot. I try to go in and flip a property and force my opponent to have to attack it. Because if you try to flip a property, then you're forcing your opponent to attack that infantry rather than attack one of your main forced units. So, also to contend with that bomber up in the north, I actually sacrificed my anti-air unit to do 3 damage to it, so now it's only a 5 HP bomber. Because I'd much rather deal with a 5 HP bomber than I would deal with an 8 HP bomber. Because an 8 HP bomber during lightning strike can one-shot a Neo-Tank, possibly, I think it's possible. Maybe not, but it can do lots of damage, right? More damage than I care to actually take. Now, a 5 HP bomber will do about 5 damage. So it would actually need to take both of the shots on a Neo-Tank in order to kill it. Yeah, see? There we go. Now, this is the turn where I got super spooked. Because he used this lightning strike right in my face. And, like, I'm just assuming that he is feeling ultra confident about this attack. Because now, he's ahead by 60,000. 60,000, folks. And, a lot of units. A lot of units. 14 units and 60,000. So, you know, what do you do in this? You pop Winter Fury. That's what you do. Boom! Winter Fury in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, so I go and try to flip a property. My super injured Neo-Tank is just gonna hang out over there and not really do anything. It needs to get some healing. Alright. Now, I wish I had spotted that battlecopter over on the eastern front, but I did not spot it, unfortunately. Unfortunate. Okay, that's why I didn't attack it. So I moved up and attacked the tank, right? So I felt like it was more important to attack the tank than the battlecopter. Why, you might ask? Because the tank can actually attack my anti-air, whereas the battlecopters would not be able to. So if I take out the tank, get that out of here, then my anti-airs can finish off the battlecopters over time. So that's really what I'm hoping for. So we're gonna just continue on here. You can see that his north push has stopped. So he sent all these guys down here now to attack like the HQ area. Which is good for me, because now I don't have to contend with anything up north. I don't have to fight a 2-fronted attack. I can just focus on one front now, which is great. Do I know that for sure though? No, obviously I have no idea. Is this game over? Oh god, no. No, Grizzled old war vets do not give up until they have absolutely no chance. Absolutely no chance. But things are not looking good for me, I'll tell you that much. I am not in a good position at all. And my 1 HP fighter does not even do a single damage to the bomber. Not even one. Not even one damage. Everything failed. So we got day 32. Eagle takes out my fighter. I still have the looming threat of this 8 HP bomber around. So, not good. But the 8 HP bomber cannot actually push forward, because now he knows that I built a whole whack-load of anti-air units. So he's probably thinking like, oh no, Mr. Cannon's got something that doesn't have a cannon. It's got a gun. And what do guns do? Oh, they shoot bombers out of the sky. Anti-air guns. That's what they do. Amazing stuff. Alright, so I clean up I clean up the north. That's what you gotta do. Clean it up. Get it out of here. Wipe it down. Polish it. Wax on, wax off. Alright. My god. Things are heating up. Alright, so the 2 tanks that I just sent north, boom, they both got hit. Did I expect them both to get hit? No. God, no. I didn't want that to happen. That is super bad. Not what I wanted at all. Lose my infantry in the south, too. However, with all of my struggling, I have managed to somewhat even the playing field once again. And Eagle's got 3 bombers now. 3 bombers. You do not want to be fighting against 3 Eagle bombers. That is not what you want to do. No, it's not good. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, like macaroni and cheese, folks. Alright, so... I'm still in the game, folks. Day 34. Let's go. Oh my god. But I lose a bunch of things. And the bomber comes in and takes out my Neo tank. So sad. Every single time I get a Neo tank, it just gets shot down. Not good. Not good, folks. Things are looking bad. Oh, it's terrible. Okay. Lightning Strike's such BS. Such BS. You can just do so much damage with it. But arguably at the exact same time, Winter Fury is also such BS because you can do so much damage with it. They're both just BS powers and like, oh my god, they should just both be banned. Just get them out of here. Nobody wants them. Except everybody wants them. Everybody plays Olaf now. It's actually kind of fun to see an Eagle player. Like, Eagle versus Olaf, it's actually a way more interesting match than I actually thought it would be. Mostly because, like, the way that it works is, like, Eagle, he has to finish it with his lightning strikes. If he doesn't, then he's just going to be pushed back. So, like, in this instance, what you really need to do is you need to plan it out so that you have, like, a bunch of your units right here, and you lightning strike the HQ. And then you go in for, like, an HQ cap or something. I think that would probably be what you would have to do. You gotta plan out a lightning strike HQ cap. Because you're just gonna get hit by a Winter Fury, but if you can actually repel the forces after that, you know, you might be fine. Possibly. Alright, we're gonna see what happens with this lightning strike, because he actually managed to pop it before I got my Winter Fury this time. But unfortunately, he just does not have the staying power that he had on the last few attempts. He's still ahead by 10 units though, because obviously I always have to fight down in the dumps, down in the corner. I'm always the underdog. I never have the advantage in any of my games because my capture game is atrocious. And every single time, I have to win through grit and determination. It's nothing but grit and determination. That's the only things that keep me alive in Advanced Wars by Web. I will fight until the very, very end. Will I win every game? No. I have like 250 losses in the Global League, folks. Obviously, I don't win every single game. But I have 290-something wins. So, obviously, I win more than I lose. But I probably could win more if I just tried to improve my capture game a little bit. Or maybe, like, planned out a strategy first, instead of, like, winging it for like 7-8 days and then finally being like, oh, maybe I should like think. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Another Neo tank up in the fray. We got 2 injured bombers up in the north. 8 HP bomber in the south with a lot of units down there. So, let's see what happens. Send in the cleanup squad. So I know that he just used lightning strike, right? So now is the time that I have to push. If I do not push now, then there won't be another push. I won't be able to sustain this battle for very much longer. I know that he's injured, so now I gotta go. Gotta go now. If I don't go now, then I won't go at all. And he's attempting to flip one of my properties, which is terrible. Terrible. But this turn, I go in for a triple flip on properties, and I do a big hit on his bomber, taking it out. Took out both the bombers, and I pushed my units just a little bit further. I'm getting just a little bit closer to the HQ, folks, a little bit closer. Attempting to do even a 4th flip, which is going to force him to attack that unit with a tank in order to interrupt it. And because I've been so low on unit count this entire game, I've been pumping out 4 units every single turn. Or at least trying to, right? So now, with the last push that I did, I managed to actually finally move ahead on the unit count. Which is crazy. I've been behind this whole game. Whole game I've been behind. But now I moved ahead. Alright. So I know that he's got a lot of units. So I don't want to keep my units up there. I don't know what he's got, but I know he's got something. So I do a ruse. I'm switching all my units back down to the south. Yes, to the south. Alright, so boom, 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 boom. It does a little bit of damage to me. Doesn't actually finish off the anti-air, which is unfortunate. If he did finish off that anti-air, I wouldn't have been able to see what he actually has up here. So, but I do, so that's good. And I get that property. So now I'm ahead on the funds for the first time in the entire game. I've been behind so long the entire time, and now finally Olaf has moved ahead. In true Olaf style, he is a late game sealer. You know, you just gotta hold off. If you can hold off, he can do wondrous things. Wondrous things. But the game is obviously not over, because he's pretty close to another lightning strike. With the amount of big units that are around, obviously, it's gonna be another lightning strike. It's impossible. You can't deny it. It will happen. And in the north, I don't actually have anything that can contend with these 2 Neo-Tanks, right? I did build a Neo-Tank of my own because I know that I need to reinforce it. But I don't know that he's got 2 Neo-Tanks, and I'm a little bit spooked. A little bit spooked. Okay, but I know that he's got a little bit before he can get his lightning strike, so I moved my units in to the south a little bit closer. A little bit closer. Now he sees I have 2 anti-air. He sees it, right? So it's possible he might attack those. And if I were him, I probably would too. Because I got that bomber there, and you want to keep the bomber fresh. Because that bomber actually just went and took a shot at my Neo-Tank, and you can see that now my Neo-Tank is at 1 HP. Now you might ask, Sammy, why did you go and attack that infantry with your Neo-Tank? Wouldn't it just get counterattacked for massive damage? Yes. Yes, it did. Did I think about that? A little bit. But I had to interrupt that cap because I can't let him get a property back. Can't. And I mean, it sucks that you're gonna lose like a Neo-Tank out of the mix, but also if he goes in to attack the Neo-Tank, what do I have right there? Ooh, 4 battlecopters. What can 4 battlecopters do? A lot. They can do a lot. So let's see what those 4 battlecopters manage to do. They go in and take some big hits. That's what they do. Oops. Alright, let's keep going. Big hits every day. That's the way I say. Okay. Alright. Neo-Tank takes a shot at my stupid medium tank. It's not the medium tank show, folks. They just keep dying. Oh my god. See, that's why medium tanks aren't necessarily like a super good build. I mean, build them if you have to have something for firepower, but like if your opponent has Neo-Tanks, then the Neo-Tank is just gonna win. It's just gonna be able to beat the medium tank like no problem. It's got +1 movement on it and just more firepower. Even if you first strike it, the Neo-Tank is probably gonna counterattack you for at least equal damage and then just take you out the next turn. So, not super good in my opinion, but, you know, I needed something. I needed something for firepower. I needed it. Okay, so I have the looming threat of the lightning strike once again. So the last thing, this is Endgame, folks. This is Endgame. Finally, we're here. Okay. Let's see what he does. He repositions all his units, getting ready for a lightning strike. So I also reposition my units, get my Winter Fury pop it. Massive global damage all over the place. And I stopped his caps, which is good. The other thing about Winter Furies, it's really, really, really good for stopping caps. Like, it slows the infantry down and makes it so they aren't full HP, they can't finish caps. Beautiful stuff. But Lightning Strike is also good for, you know, interrupting caps, because you can just do massive damage all over the place. Alright, so I push up a few of my units here, do a little bit of damage to the front line, so I make him think that this is where I am. But I'm actually down here. Boom, secret. Shh, don't tell him. Alright, let's see what happens with this. It's now or never. It's either going to be an all-out attack or something else. I don't know. We'll see. Massive. So there's the lightning strike. So, he's up here again. We're going to see what happens. Big hits, big hits, big hits. Ooh. Taking the medium out. Oh, that's unfortunate. Ooh, fighter moving in to take damage. Big hits right there. Alright. So, ooh. That was terrible. So we'll see what I can do to counter that. A couple hits right there, taking out a Neo tank. Now, if you're wondering why I didn't attack that, it's because I couldn't see it. So I couldn't attack it. But I needed to get the vision because I've blundered one of my moves earlier with the recon, because I should have not did that. But anyways, not important. It is important. It's a battle that's going on in the south because he's got so many units up there. I just need to take them out. Alright, day 46. Shiroshi is still moving in. He's still doing lots of damage. Lots and lots and lots and lots of damage. Everywhere. Damage everywhere. It's so powerful. Day 46, and I get another Winter Fury, and I pop it. Man. I do so much damage this turn. I take him down to 84,000. And at that point, he resigns. Ah. Holy moly, though. That was a battle. Battle of attrition. Grizzled old soldiers fighting until the very end. That's what I love to see. Do I love playing 47-day matches? No, I don't. But that's what happens sometimes, folks. That's what happens sometimes. I thought that my opponent, Eagle Shiroshi, played very, very well. The only thing is, like, I think if you are going to go in for the lightning strike, then you need to do it with a plan of finishing the game. Finishing the game. Either go for like an HQ cap, or that's pretty much about it. You could do an HQ cap. On Stalingrad, it's really hard. It's really, really hard. Especially if you're fighting Eagle. Because I was just, or not Eagle. Especially if you're fighting Olaf. Because I was just getting back to back to back to back Winter Furies non-stop. So that just slowed him down enough that I was managed to get past and eventually secure myself to win over time. Now, if I had played silly and like pushed up all the time, I would have just been completely wiped out. So play it slow, play it defensive, play it conservative, and Olaf can defeat an Eagle over time. Might take 47 days, but you can take him out over time. Anyways, thank you everybody so much for watching this one. Sorry it took so long, but you know what? Sometimes I like to showcase these ones. I like the underdog story, for sure. And I am definitely an underdog when it comes to the Global League in general. So, Anyways, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Semi-original guy, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web. Leaving a link in the description below where you can actually go to Advanced Wars by Web and sign up and start the Global League today, playing against people around the world. Link in the description below also for the Discord, where if you're interested, you can join the Live League, which is super fun. Super fun. Would suggest it. And if you don't join the Live League, you're on the Discord, so you can chat with people from around the world that all like Advanced Wars, so you can discuss strategy, blah blah blah, and everything. It'll be a good time. Trust me, just do it. And aside from that, it's all that I got to say today. So you all have yourself a fantastic day. Semi-original guy out.